This week on the announcers table, WWE Slam Crate giveaway, the Curb Stomp is back on Raw, and where is Shane McMahon?
Not on SmackDown.
What's going on, Wrestle Geeks? Welcome to another episode of the announcers table. I am your host, B-Ride, and my co-host, as always, the Canadian Screwjob himself, Hurts the Verts.
How you doing tonight, B-Ride?
I'm doing better than you. As you see, I got myself a new mug just to, spite you because you suck.
Well, I appreciate that. You know what else I appreciate? Shane McMahon barely showing up on SmackDown on Tuesday. Did you notice how much better SmackDown was without a 20-minute long open with Shane McMahon just whining about everything?
I mean...
You are such a McMahon apologist. It doesn't make any sense. Shane McMahon is terrible. SmackDown was much better without him.
So you think Raw is much better without Stephanie McMahon?
Yes, absolutely. I think Stephanie McMahon was the worst part about the Women's Royal Rumble announcement. I thought Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon are the worst parts of their shows, respectively.
Okay, so, we're going to go into detail about what happened on Raw this week. One of the most exciting things about Raw is Seth Rollins using the curb stomp finisher again.
Letting them bring it back. It was a real throwback, and it's much better than that knee to the face finisher that never made it.
Yeah, that spin out knee, that was just horrible. He had the pedigree. But I went through various websites to see if maybe there was some backlash with McMahon, because every time there's a banned move being brought up in a wrestling match, Vince McMahon gets livid, he goes ballistic, just like a couple years back when John Cena and CM Punk had that match on Raw and CM Punk power drived John Cena. McMahon went crazy. But I didn't see anything, so hopefully, this is hoping that, Seth Rollins does have his finisher back, which is the curb stomp, which is probably one of the best finishers on both shows right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to come up with a new name for it, though. I think that's the only reason why he couldn't use it for so long. I don't think it really had anything to do with the actual action. I think it had everything to do with the fact that you can't say curb stomp on PG-rated television.
So what you gonna call it? Chutes and ladders? Like Jacob's ladder? Like, what are you gonna call it? Steps to heaven? Like it gets the curb stomp.
I don't know, man. They'd have to come up with something. I'm not that creative. I do suck.
That's just like when they removed Randy Orton's punt to the head. All you go is, oh my God, he punted him. What's a punt? It's a term in football.
It's true. It's true. I never got why they got rid of the punt. I know that it wasn't a good thing to be doing like every other week, but I never really understand why they completely got rid of it.
Another match I did enjoy, but was cut very, very short, was Nia Jax and Asuka. That match was really, really good. Nia Jax was dominating Asuka through the entire match until Asuka, went the cheap route, hit her in the knee and then just targeted that knee. It's not really cheap, but the finish could have been better due to the fact that the match was stopped. And it's part of the storyline.
I was surprised by the finish. To cut the match short and have it end clean, right? No cheating from either side, no outside interference. I was very surprised to have a clean finish to that match the very first time those two faced off. I really was expecting, a run-in from the remaining two members of Absolution or something like that to, give us some heat and let us wonder how that match would have ended up. To say that, out of the gate, Asuka is just going to dominate Nia Jax to the point where Nia can't even finish the match, that's an interesting route to take, and I'm interested to see where they take it.
It's the best. To me, I think it's a good finish because it shows both competitors are still strong. It just shows that Nia Jax can continue, but it doesn't show that neither of them won or lost. Now, you did bring up a point about Absolution coming in. It saddened us today, and this week to find out that Paige's career may be over due to her injury at a live event in Brooklyn. As we all know, Paige had neck fusion surgery, which is the same surgery Stone Cold Steve Austin had, Edge had, Lita had. And you're basically wrestling, like Edge said, you're wrestling on borrowed time. That's not a... it's not a permanent fix. It's just, just to get you through the 4 or 5 more years of your career.
Yeah, it's a very sad day. Paige won the Women's Championship her first night on Raw. It would have been so great to see her take part in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. She had a real shot at winning it. But to cut that run short, to cut her career short, it's a very sad moment, and it's she deserved better. But sometimes I guess her body just failed her. I don't really know what happened. I know that they said it didn't even look that bad when it happened. They didn't think it was going to be that bad, but they've already pulled her from the Royal Rumble card, and they're questioning whether or not she'll ever wrestle again, which is it's just a terrible thing.
I mean, even if she doesn't wrestle again, I think they will keep her there, maybe to manage Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, because she does have experience. Her family's been in the business for a long time. She's been in the business since she was about 13, 14 years old. So I think they're going to keep her as a manager. My heart goes out to Paige. So, Paige, our heart goes out to you. And to all the critics out there who says wrestling is fake, I've never seen a football player continue after tearing his ACL. I've never seen a football player continuing after concussion. And these guys, day in, day out, continue even though they're injured.
It's a dangerous sport, and I'm constantly amazed at the athleticism of these performers and just how hard they go. It's really great to watch. Much like it was great to watch the Revival back on TV. That was excellent.
That was good. I mean, they did cut a promo talking about how they're gonna bring back traditional wrestling. How they're not gonna be these gimmicks and stuff like that. I like that promo. I think that promo was pretty awesome.
And Raw is in desperate need of new tag teams.
Now, before we do get into SmackDown, I want to bring out, our contest that we have in this month. The WWE Loot Crate, brought to you by Slam Crate, which is being sponsored by Geeks Unlimited. As you see here, have some items which come in this WWE Slam Crate. So, guys, remember, subscribe to our channel, like, share, let your friends know, comment. We're going to be choosing a winner in the middle of February, which is going to be, you'll receive your crate in March. They come every other month. Now, going on to SmackDown. You was very excited about SmackDown due to the fact that you didn't see Shane McMahon until the end of the show.
Until the very end of the show, and he didn't say a word. I didn't have to listen to Shane McMahon complain about anything. I didn't have to listen to him argue with Daniel Bryan about nothing. And that was a really good show.
Well, you had to think about it. They had a compromise. First of all, if you guys don't know, Kevin Owens was injured in the live show, in the house show. So, that feud had to be put on hold. Now, I'm not going to lie. We do see Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens. This feud has been going on for a few months now. It's starting to get a little stale, but I think it ends at Royal Rumble.
I sure hope so.
I think it ends at Royal Rumble because, like I said, you have, a handicap WWE Championship match. I think either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, I said it before and I'll say it again, one of them is going to turn on each other because nobody wants to be a co-champion. The last co-champions we had was Chris Jericho and China when they shared the Intercontinental Championship back in the Attitude Era. So, I don't see a co-champion. I see AJ Styles walking out the Royal Rumble, still WWE Champion. Do I see a triple threat match at WrestleMania? Possibly. And this is speculation, and this is also rumor, but rumors going out that Daniel Bryan may be participating in the Royal Rumble.
That would be very interesting. I worry for his health every time Daniel Bryan wrestles. I feel like every single time Daniel Bryan wrestles, he lands directly on his head. Like every single time he goes out there, he lands directly on his head, and he's just going to break his neck again. And, get to the top again and just break his neck and break all of our hearts again. I think he's one of the best wrestlers to have ever done it, but his body, I just don't think his body can hold up, and I hope he's either gotten some better medical advice or something if he's actually going to be lacing him up and stepping inside the ring.
So, on SmackDown, they bumped up the United States Championship. It was supposed to be a match at the Royal Rumble. They bumped it up to this Tuesday, which was a surprise because I had read that it was supposed to be on next week's Go Home show, the United States Championship, and it was a big surprise that they made it the same night. Now, do I agree with the main event? No, I think Xavier Woods should have got the win over Jinder Mahal. Yet again, my India fans, it's nothing against you. I just don't like Jinder Mahal. He sucks as a wrestler. He sucks on the mic. That's just me. But I think Xavier Woods is already on that next level, you know, as far as a singles competitor. I don't want to see him move away from the New Day. I think that faction right there is money. You know, it's still making money to this day. As you know, when the New Day first came out, everybody hated them. They were just horrible, and then they just grew on people. But Xavier Woods, I think, is ready for that next step. I think he should have. I don't think he should have won the United States Championship, but I think he should have been in the main event.
I think you're right. I totally agree with you. I think Xavier Woods has done an amazing job, and he's really been one of the guys to be carrying SmackDown over the course of the last 4 or 5 or 6 months. But I like the position he's in right now where he can chase the champion, right? He got real close to a singles title, and he's in the area to be able to chase the champion again. And, you know, a program with him and Bobby Roode, a program with him and Mojo Rawley, like those are fresh matchups that we haven't seen 1,000 times. And they'll be really interesting to see going forward. The United States division, as it were, looks pretty good.
I mean, it does look pretty good. And congrats to Bobby Roode. You know, he's worked hard. He started out in WWE way back in the day, went to TNA, you know, built himself up. You know, he'd been around the world. Now he's back in WWE. He had the NXT Championship for a while, which he defeated Shinsuke Nakamura for. Now he's, you know, United States Champion. Now, I would like to see how they're going to have him as champion. You know, as you know, a lot of United States championships, champions, like to have this open challenge. What I'd like to see is possibly Dolph Ziggler come back and challenge him for the title. You know, him and Dolph had great matches.
They did, but they had a lot of matches already.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's 1-1. It's one. All I saw was 1-1. You know, one guy cheated, the next guy cheated, and then it just stopped after that. Like, because of the whole Survivor Series Raw versus SmackDown thing.
That's true.
So we never got the rubber match between those two. You know, we only got, you know, one apiece. Like I said, I would like to see Xavier Woods in the picture. I definitely want to see what they're going to do with Baron Corbin. He seems to be, you know, moving up slowly, even though he has some backlash in the locker room and stuff like that. But they seem to, you know, are starting to get some faith in him again. They definitely need to do something with Shinsuke. I mean, come on, that's probably one of the most popular guys in the SmackDown locker room besides AJ Styles. Like, he has charisma.
I think when you see what, depending on what happens with the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble event, if AJ Styles walks out of the Royal Rumble with the championship, I think you're going to see a Raw superstar win the Royal Rumble, and Shinsuke Nakamura is going to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I think that's the road they're walking down, and that's going to be such a killer match that I'm so excited for it.
I mean, it has to be, because I don't know if you heard about this, but New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom 12, tore the roof down. Shout out to Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, who had a phenomenal match. I mean, I didn't get to watch it live, but I did get to see it, and that match was epic. That's what wrestling is. So, you know, WWE has some competition out there that people don't know about. You know what I'm saying? New Japan Pro Wrestling, they're the next WCW. I can see them coming up slowly but surely.
Absolutely. There's a lot of indie promotions out there and bigger promotions in other countries. And you know, all it takes is a little bit of creativity and some hard work from the guys, you know, in the ring. And what they need to do, and that's why I keep wanting to push WWE to give us fresh matchups. Like, I can't sit through another Sami Zayn and Shane McMahon match. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen this too many times, these two feuding, and so they need to give us fresh matchups and fresh feuds, or else we're going to start looking in other places.
Of course. Now, we're going to go on to next week's Raw 25th. It's being broadcast from both Barclays Center and the Manhattan Center. You know, the Manhattan Center is where Raw actually started. They have a bunch of legends coming through the show. I don't tend to see much wrestling this coming Monday. I just see like one big celebration, a bunch of legends coming out, maybe 1 or 2 matches, some nostalgia from when, you know, from the Attitude Era.
Definitely a face-off between The Undertaker and Roman Reigns.
I don't think Undertaker and Roman Reigns. I would actually think Undertaker and John Cena, your boy.
Sure. No. I know. Yeah. That's.
And you know the rumor is that John Cena will be facing the Undertaker, and that this will actually be both of their last matches. It's gonna be Cena's last match. It's gonna be the Taker's last match. So after this, we're no longer gonna see Cena or Undertaker wrestling. We'll probably see them, you know, maybe host a WrestleMania or just, you know, come through on the Legends contract, you know, just to make a guest appearance. But I think after this, I think it's done. You know, like I said, we're having a bunch of legends come through. We're having JR and Jerry Lawler also going to be on the show. And I also want to talk about this Mixed Match Challenge that they have on Facebook Watch. Me personally, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was pretty decent. As you know, they have a bunch of teams from both SmackDown and Raw, male and female, being paired up in this Mixed Match Challenge. I really don't know the purpose of it. Maybe it's just to extend the brand a little bit, or maybe help Facebook out, which is not doing too well right now. So, I mean, what's your take on it?
Well, I've never been a big fan of intergender wrestling at all. I think, you know, the way that they do it where, you know, when the tag happens on one side of the, you know, if a woman tags in, then on the other side of the ring, the man has to tag out. So it kills the hot tag, which is pretty much the best thing about tag team wrestling.
Yeah, it does.
And I also thought it was very interesting that the USA Network counter-programmed the first, you know, installment of the Mixed Match Challenge. They put on immediately after SmackDown the top 25 moments in the history of Raw.
Of course.
Air opposite the Mixed Match Challenge, which is like, oh, so we're not really happy about this, are we? So USA Network's not real happy about WWE flirting with Facebook like that. So that's an interesting dynamic, and I don't know how that's going to play out.
Well, you have to think about it. It's social media, but then again, like I said, Facebook is not doing too well, so they need something to promote. They need, you know, something that's hot right now. WWE is hot right now. It's WrestleMania season. It's the road to WrestleMania. Congratulations to Goldberg, by the way, who's going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I hope to see some other top names on that list for this year. Another point I want to bring up, I'm not sure have you been keeping up with NXT, but I have, and Shayna Baszler, aka the Queen of Spades, has been putting out these promos where she's being a bully to these other Performance Center wrestlers. I'm not sure if you ever seen any of them.
I have not had a chance.
But she's basically walking around with her cell phone, you know, video, and she goes, oh, look at these guys, oh, look at these women here, and then she just puts them in the chokehold and then runs away. Like, they're promoting Shayna Baszler as a bully, which I don't mind.
Okay.
But WWE, what's going on? What's up with this whole bullying campaign that you guys had going on a few years? Like, you know, it makes no sense. You're having a wrestler in NXT be a bully, but, you know, you don't want nobody to be bullied. It makes no sense. So is there anything else you want to add to today's episode?
I just keep Shane McMahon off TV and keep SmackDown great.
Gewurz, how about if you take us out on this episode?
Well, thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. We will be hitting up, we'll be picking a winner for the Slam Crate Challenge. And come back next week, everybody. It's been fun.
I'm your host, B-Rod. Next week, Wrestle Geeks.